Hi, this is Comet Troy. I'm on lot 86 this morning. This is Brian and Amy's lot. Hey, Brian and Amy. They asked me to come out here and take a look. I think mainly they were interested in knowing the status of the utilities out here. So I see that behind me here is a stake with a pink and green ribbon at the top. Now those stakes with the green and pink ribbons are set by Meriwether Lewis Electric Company, MLEC, and that's where they're going to put one of their primary poles, as they call it, the primary wire, the high voltage. And obviously there's not a pole here yet, so typically, three things have to happen next. Number one, the developer has to make sure that they have right-of-way cleared, and that's 20 feet of space on each side of all the electrical lines between this pole and the next pole down the road, and in my opinion it looks pretty good. There is a couple spots where I see that there may have to be a little bit more right-of-way clearing, but I think in my opinion it looks pretty good. The other thing is Tennessee Land and Lakes has to, pay Meriwether Lewis to bring in the infrastructure. So they may be waiting for payment from Tennessee Land and Lakes for that. And then, of course, the third thing is scheduling. They may be ready to go and just haven't gotten to it yet. So that's the status of the utilities. Now the electric is run, down Old Hohenwald Road, so it's about maybe 4 or 5 poles needs to be set down this way to get to the road, and you'll have power available. What will happen next is they'll come out with their trucks and they'll do a post hole digger, and they'll drill down a hole for the post, and then they'll come out and they'll set the post. So that will be like the first step, and then another team comes behind them. In my case, it was, a few weeks later, another team comes through behind and sets the guy wires, where they got to, have a different, I don't know, it might be the same piece of equipment, but they, drill the augers, the stake down with an auger end of it for the guy wire. And after that, another team comes through and, runs the wires down, across the pole. And I think they outsource all that, honestly, to a contractor. So probably not delayed because of resources. Well, maybe. I mean, we are in weird times right now with labor shortages and parts and that. The old supply chain everyone talks about. But yeah, so that's the status of the utilities. Of course, you're probably never going to get water here. Never is what the utility used, but I never say never. You get enough residents in here and enough tax revenue coming in. I mean, I could see them upgrading the infrastructure and possibly at some point down the road putting water in. But you're definitely going to want to drill a well before that point. So I did I don't know if you're really looking for it, but I did walk your lot a little bit. I don't know if it really makes sense to send the drone up because you haven't started any construction yet, so the drone's just going to see a bunch of trees and the road. I can do that, but I don't really know if that's beneficial or not. So I'm just going to just walk into your property a little bit. All right, so here I am walking the road from your sign, and one of the things that's really interesting about your lot, which I think is really cool, is it's typically it kind of goes down in elevation, which is where you find the hardwoods. And a lot of most of the other lots have been the original hardwoods have been harvested and replaced by the LobLolly trees that most of us have on our hilltops. I really love your lot with all the hardwoods that you have here. This is the way the land was before the loggers got to it. It's beautiful. And, you know, I was a little concerned. I'm like, well, why isn't it logged? I mean, is it because, you know, the land is just too treacherous to get to, which is, you know, up by me where I have the LobLollies, they planted, you know, it's all those easy to get stuff on the hilltops. And they left the, you know, the hardwoods down in the hollers, which are typically sleeper slopes. I'm like, well, what these guys buy? I mean, is it, you know, is it going to be, you know, steep sloping land? But I really like the way your lot lays out here, and, you know, you really have, you know, some pretty good, you know, build area here. And then obviously they came in here and, you know, did their typical mulching, you know, the half-ass mulching as I call it. Very dirty, a lot of sticks and stuff laying around, you know, and it's, you know, they just, and I get it. I mean, they do it just for, you know, to show the property, open it up. But you do have a lot of cleanup here to do on the land, you know, with all the debris on there. And one of the concerns I had too in the beginning was, you know, they're kind of going to be down maybe in a lower area and probably not going to have much view. But, you know, I see straight ahead here that if you clear some of these trees out, you know, you'll be able to see, you know, quite a ways to the next bluff over. So I really love your lot. It's a nice lot. And I didn't really walk down this area here, but it looks like there's, you know, a logging path that goes down there in the woods, and, you know, probably goes back quite a ways. So beautiful lot. You guys did well. So there you have it, Amy and Brian. And Amy and Brian's friends who are watching this. This is, you know, my first assessment, unbiased assessment of your land. One of the things that I forgot to mention, you know, this is definitely seems to be like a lower elevation property, which, you know, the benefit there is, you know, you might hit water a lot quicker. So a well could typically be, you know, maybe less inexpensive. Of course, completely uneducated guess, you know, really don't know. You know, you may have to drill deeper, but I know that Tennessee Linden Lake says 185 feet at the highest point here. So I don't know, you might get lucky and hit water a lot sooner than that and save quite a bit of money on a well. So if you like my channel, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.